Hey guys, Emily Muchanti here, and I have a video today for those of you that are prepping for your Foundations of Reading exam. I have been helping new teachers just like you prepare for their reading competency exams for almost a decade. And I've seen a lot of things that don't work and a few that do. And so today I'm going to point out to you the 6 biggest mistakes that our new teachers are doing as they're prepping for their reading competency exams, and in this case, specifically for the fort. But before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, share this video, click the little bell icon down below so that you get notified whenever I bring up a new video that will help you make this a shorter and more pleasant journey. And don't forget, check the show notes down below for links, information, and events so that you can stay connected. And I have some interesting information for you at the end, so make sure that you stick around. All right, so the 6 biggest mistakes that I see with new teachers. Number one biggest mistake, procrastinating. I have seen it time and time again. Teachers putting off the exams that they need to take and pass in order to clear their credentials. And sadly, I have received some really heart-wrenching emails from teachers that did not realize that their credentials had a limited time and they hadn't passed their tests. And yes, they have in fact lost their jobs. So please do not put this test off. It is incredibly challenging. I know that life gets in the way. Health, babies, marriage, life is going to happen. So you want to make sure that you can block out some time when things are going kind of smoothly and you can actually get these exams done. You do not want to wait because that would just leave you in a really serious pickle. The second biggest mistake that I see, using too many resources in order to prep. Now, here's what happens when you have too many resources that you are pulling together, trying to learn absolutely everything there is to know from different people, different experts about an exam that you are prepping for. You will overwhelm yourself, okay? You need to find a few really good, solid resources that are going to take you deep and get you into the heart of what you really need to know, and bonus points if it's the stuff that is going to really impact your teaching in the classroom. So, and that is why I'm really proud of my course, because that's exactly what I do. Now, when you have too many resources, this also contributes to your anxiety because you will find that resources or experts may contradict each other in certain areas. We all have our own opinion about some of these things, and so that will cause unnecessary anxiety. You want to choose someone or a plan that works well for you, that you feel connected to, and stick with that. With that, I would add that one of the most important resources that you should have, and it's free, is the National Reading Panel Summary Report. This document is a meta-analysis of decades and decades of reading research that was published back in the year 2000. And it discusses and brings out the 5 important literacy pillars, which have become the domains, competencies, and sub areas or objectives that you need to know in these reading exams. This is also going to show you how all of it works together. Okay, you have to have a general understanding of how reading develops before you can dive in to the specifics of what each of your objectives is requiring you to do. So do not skip out on the National Reading Panel Report. I will put the link down below to make it convenient to you, because that is going to be a really good free resource. You're going to want to use it. All right, the third biggest mistake I see, number 3, is underestimating how challenging these exams are. Some people will go and go, I'm just going to go take the test. I'm going to see how it goes. I don't quite understand this mindset, honestly, but you have to know that these exams are competency exams. They are intended to see if not only do you understand the terminology, the strategies, this and that, but can you weave it together and integrate it into instruction? And the questions are not easy. The multiple choice questions are not like define this or name this strategy. They are very multi-layered. There's a lot of information that you have to wade through to get to the answer. And the answer choices are going to be very, very similar. And if you don't know your stuff, you are going to find yourself really, having some difficulty with that. So you want to invest in your preparation, okay? When going back to those resources and tools that you're going to use, you just need a few of them. You don't need to spend money on everything. You need some really good ones. Stick around for the show notes down below, but you want to invest in your preparation. Don't go in and just take an exam and see how it goes. That is going to be a waste of your time. And honestly, if you don't pass it right off the bat, it's going to hit your, what's the word? Your self-esteem and your belief in yourself that you can actually get that done. So trust me on this one, invest in your preparations, take it one time and be done with it. It's going to be a far better situation for you, and it will save you money. Okay, the fourth one. Sorry, I have to keep looking because there's a lot of them and I don't want to forget. The fourth biggest mistake that I see is, again, taking the exam when you're not prepared, as I just kind of led into that. Don't go in to a testing situation if you are stressed out that you're not ready. If you're not ready, pause, reschedule your exam date, spend a couple of weeks digging back into what you need to know. Prepare. Go in feeling well prepared. When you're well prepared, you are going to lower your anxiety. You will also feel far more confident about how you're doing, and you'll only have to take it once. The fifth biggest mistake that I see is not writing out the constructed responses and sharing them with somebody before you actually go into your test date. Do not let your testing day be the first time you've ever written out a constructed response, a case study, any of these written responses for any exam. You need to get a structure and a format for how those answers are going to look, and then practice writing them. You are on time constraints in your testing exam. So we want to practice when you are not timed so that you can get that structure and familiarize yourself with how you're going to approach those written responses. Don't let your test date be the first time that you do that. And the sixth and final, and probably the biggest and most impactful mistake that I see, is having a negative attitude. A negative mindset about a competency exam is going to shoot yourself in the foot. Now, I know that you have a number of different hoops that you have to jump through in order to become a teacher. I did too. I was credentialed in the early 90s, and we had our own set of requirements and exams and all of this. And I will tell you this, you're going to have to jump through these hoops. And if you think that jumping through the hoops is challenging, wait till you get into the classroom. This is going to somewhat prepare you for those emotional roller coasters that you actually have to handle in your career for the next 20 or 30 years. But having a negative mindset, you're going to go in, you're going to prep incorrectly, and you are going to not get out of these preparations what you should, and it's going to impact your score. You need to remember that teaching reading is the single most important thing that you will ever do at any grade level. Kids need to learn to read. It is directly connected to their futures, their future salaries, their future incomes, you name it, it's connected to literacy. And if they don't know how to do that well, our society suffers. They suffer, we suffer. It's really important that those of you in the front lines, in the trenches, in the classroom, are well prepared and knowledgeable and know how to do this well. Right now, we have a national crisis. On average, we have about 30% of our students in fourth grade and eighth grade that are actually proficient in reading. That should be unacceptable. It should not sit well with anybody. That means that we as teachers have to do the difficult work of getting our kids ready. And yes, it requires a lot of knowledge. And yes, that knowledge is challenging. But if you embrace this for the opportunity that it is to become a better teacher, it's not only going to serve you well on your test day, it's going to serve your students well. And that's the kind of teacher you want to be, right? You want to be that teacher that's going to make the difference, and you absolutely can. So if you feel like you have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder with this exam, knock it off, change it right now, go in with a better attitude. It's going to make all of the difference. All right. So those were the 6 mistakes that I see. Don't procrastinate. Don't use too many resources. Don't underestimate how difficult the test actually is. Be prepared when you take the test. Don't go take it whenever you are unprepared. Write out those constructed responses and give yourself a positive mindset. Now, if you would like help along this journey, as I said, I have been helping teachers for the last decade with their reading competency exams, and now I am moving into the fort. Teaching reading doesn't change, and I'm bringing all of my expertise as a reading specialist for nearly 30 years into a course. It's honestly pretty awesome. It's called Fort Prep 101. You can find it at emilymuchanti.com forward. And this is going to be a comprehensive exam. It includes quizzes at the ends of the subtest. It is fully detailed, very visual, very interactive. It's going to link to demonstrations and examples. You're going to love it. And we do live workshops for those of you that like to have that real-time experience. They're a ton of fun. I get to know you. I fully love it. So check the show notes down below. Make sure you get on my list. Leave me a comment. What are you struggling with the most in your preparation? Do you have questions? Do you have any tips? And email me readingdiva06@gmail.com. I'm here for you. Hope to see you soon. Thank you for what you do. Bye for now.